Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no. So I don't know if you guys can hear the wind howling. I've got the window open in my room. So there are a lot of ghost stories associated with this island. I live on Newfoundland, and there are a lot of ghost stories about ghost ships that go missing at sea. People go missing all the time when they head out on berry picking excursions. It happened to me when I was a child. I'd always go berry picking by myself because I always wanted to be brave, and I never really gave a shit. So I'd be gone for hours, and thanks to the power of a cereal box flashlight I always had with me and my keen sense of survival I picked up from Boy Scouts, I was able to find my way out of the woods. There's an old folk literature tale that goes with this island where they say the fairies take you if you go missing for forever, and the way to escape them is just not pay attention to them. But if they see you picking berries, you're always going to go missing. It never did happen to me, but I'd be gone for hours. My mom would never know where I was to. I'd come home, she'd be like, holy shit, and I'd have like 2 gallons of berries picked, and I used to sell them in the summertime. True story. Nights like this, very beautiful sunset, puts me in mind of when I used to record podcasts in my parents' basement, and I'd be home all by myself. It was a really lonely experience. I could only hope that somebody would hear my voice, and it kind of reminds me of how I used to do this every night. So I can only hope as a podcaster someone is going to hear my voice tonight, my opinion, my critique opinion on Descendants and Zombies that I dearly love so much. I'm not lying to you either that I love Descendants and Zombies. I love them dearly. I love the cast. They are beautiful, beautiful people. And you guys have supported my YouTube channel for forever. I wanted to create something special for each and every one of you, and I like to believe that I did that. I like to believe that I come off as an inspiration to a lot of people who hear my voice on this podcast. As a YouTube creator, it is very challenging to create content that is engaging, that inspires people to be better, and ultimately that's what I wanted to do. My reciprocal lights blew up the other night, and I have to install new reciprocal lights in this room, so you're going to have to bear with me. If I don't hospitalize myself over the next 2 weeks, we'll have reciprocal lights again in the back of these videos. I had a whole lot of fun using the reciprocal lights before, but unfortunately they exploded the other night. And I actually do, for those of you who are wondering, I actually do live just 5 minutes away from a soda plantation and a chemical plant side by side, so if they explode, I'm really screwed, and I live on an island, which makes matters worse. The whole situation is going to be really screwed up because there are only 2 ways off of this island: by boat that could sink, plane that could crash, and car that could crash. A third way, a third option, which isn't as equally as impressive. So hopefully you guys can help me in a way to figure out what to do in the way of a zombie invasion. If it ever happens, if it ever breaks out, if we were to believe what Disney was promoting for Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires, and promoting all along, with this franchise, we'd be preparing for a zombie invasion every day of our life. And thankfully enough, I always bolt my doors shut. I always help people in need. I actually had a friend last year before I moved into this house who wanted bolts for her door, and I helped her install them. I got them for her and stuff, and yeah. So I'm always prepared. I'm always prepared for stuff, and I always like to have a whole lot of fun with these videos for those of you who are new here. If I can't make you laugh, I feel like I didn't achieve anything. I've always wanted to make you laugh. I've always wanted to make you cry. I've always wanted to offer advice and inspiration to a lot of people, either for that to be to create your own YouTube or to get involved with theater. Maybe you're someone who loves to dance. Maybe you want to be a backup dancer for somebody. Maybe you want to be a part of the Descendants franchise as an actress like Ruby Rose Turner, whom I dearly love. I want to say this: all the criticism that the Descendants stars and the zombie stars have been suffering from over the past 6 months, there is absolutely no need of. That's why I want you to subscribe to this YouTube channel, because I am in the corner forever and always of Dove Cameron, Kylie Cantrell, Ruby Rose Turner. They have received their fair share of criticism. Some of you may remember me from last year criticizing Ryan McCartan for really treating Dove Cameron like absolute shit. And I criticized him because when I found out what was happening behind closed doors with Dove Cameron, I said this is completely unnecessary. One thing you guys got to know about me is that I'm a huge supporter and believer in women's rights. I am an advocate for women's rights. I will never stop believing that. I will never quit believing that, because you guys are some of the most beautiful people in the entire world. I noticed today that YouTube algorithm picked up 2 videos at the same time and I got over 400 views on 2 videos simultaneously that I only uploaded about 48 hours ago. And I have the YouTube algorithm, which are all of you, to say thank you to that. I wasn't going to record a podcast tonight, but I had to jump on here again tonight. The video is already scheduled to come out tomorrow. But by the time you hear this, I don't know what videos will be recommended, but it seems like every video that I'm throwing up about Descendants and Zombies is being recommended, and I'm beating out everybody in the YouTube algorithm and the YouTube recommendation system. And I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you who always click the like button, who always hit the subscribe button. I can't emphasize enough how critical it is that you hit the subscribe button. When I had nobody, I had each and every one of you, and I have each and every one of you to thank. When I had nobody to tell stories to, I had each and every one of you who listened. When I felt like I had nobody who was listening to me, who never heard my voice on the radio. You know, one of the most challenging things as a YouTube creator is to create content where people feel inspired, people become engaged with, people always tune in to see the next video. And when I was a radio broadcaster in 1999, when I was streaming my voice with Winamp and Shoutcast out of my parents' basement, I could only hope that someone was going to hear my voice. I didn't think anyone was going to give a shit about me, and I thought my show was shit. But each and every one of you pulled me from out of obscurity and brought me back after 25 years. I've got a Logitech Brio camera. I've got all these stuffies in the back. I've got posters. I have a really nice setup. I just bought a new game chair. I put in over $4,500 of an investment into this channel. And I did it because I believed in each and every one of you. You know, my friend joked with me when I told him the total that I had spent on this YouTube channel over the period of 6 months. And he said, the kids better show up at your door and watch the show live. We laughed about it, but I'm really happy that each and every one of you are here, because without you guys, I don't know where I'd be. If there was one niche that I could fall in love with over and over again, it will be this one. If there was one niche that I could always support, it will be this one, because you guys never quit how much you believe in. And when you could have quit on me, you didn't. So forever and always, I'm going to make a promise to you. No matter how many times somebody tells you that a dream is not achievable or it can't happen for you, no matter how many times you're told that forever doesn't exist, I want you to always remember this. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, and forever will always be eternal in your heart. And your heart is your best friend. It will always show you the way, the light out of darkness, and it will always be the one thing that you can always trust in. Never forget to listen to it. Never forget to appreciate it, because at the end of the day, every single time that sun sets over my tree out there, your heart is your best friend, and that's something that I've always trusted in, and I've trusted in each and every one of you. I have had a lot of fun as a radio broadcaster for what feels like forever. Nights like this, I would have long drives or long walks home when I would hang up the headset from recording my podcast, either in my parents' basement or for somebody else I was co-hosting a show with. I'd often find myself, caught up in the thought of what would ever happen if my show crashed. What would ever happen if I didn't make it in the radio industry? But I made it because of each and every one of you. I had a lot of jobs. I was, more times often than enough, I was the co-host of a lot of shows for a lot of different genres. But the thing was, I didn't have creative control with my show. So what I did eventually was I went on my own, and I didn't know if anyone was gonna really like it. So when I moved into this house a year ago, people told me it was haunted. As far as I'm concerned, I live on a ghost street. I never ever see anybody. When I was a kid, I thought that I lived across the road from a vampire. Construction company basically moved in overnight, started hammering and nailing for 24 hours. They eventually built the house. The construction company moves out. I never see the dudes in the daytime. In the nighttime, they'd always be out fertilizing their lawn or planting trees. And I said, this is a really messed up situation. And then one night I got invited over to his house for supper, and then I seriously wanted to stake the guy because everything in his house was red. The whole theme and plot of the house was all red, and I'm seriously thinking I'm sitting in Dracula's living room. So then I go home and I start hammering and nailing, trying to put together coffins and stuff. I'd walk by his house every single day to check the refrigerators to see if they were full of blood. Really creepy situation. And as far as I'm concerned, I went to school with every guy who was a vampire. Oh my God, did I ever. There was with this one creepy dude that I went to school with, and he would have a headset, but he would have no Walkman hooked up to the headset inside of his jacket. And I thought for sure that guy was a vampire. So if you do have a friend that you are suspicious of, that you think is a vampire, you can never be too prepared. Just go to the grocery store, go to the garlic section, look for the perfect head of garlic, which is very difficult to find. Thankfully enough, I have a friend from Ukraine I go grocery shopping with all the time, and he gives me tips on how to pick out the perfect head of garlic. So I won't be attacked by vampires anytime soon, and I have thankfully mastered the art of professional wrestling. So when it comes to vertical suplexes, tombstone pile drivers, and the pile driver, which is banned from wrestling for years, if a vampire invasion or zombie invasion ever breaks out, which is pretty possible, I'll be ready. And I'm going to get them before they get us. And that's the thing we got to live by. When it comes to a zombie invasion or an apocalyptic breakout, always remember we got to get them before they get us. So if you subscribe to this YouTube channel, you will always be ready for a zombie apocalyptic breakout, because I will be here every night on YouTube preparing you for it. I will address zombie apocalyptic preparations and the chances of a zombie apocalypse actually happening. And I do it a lot around October when Halloween comes, because of course that's, when everything spooky happens, everything creepy happens around here. And I'm living in a province that is very, very haunted. It's the most haunted place in Canada, which is why I don't know why they didn't shoot Zombies 4 here down at the Vampires or Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland. I want to put it out there that if they want a new producer for Descendants, I will gladly be the producer/director of this thing. And I will take the cast members of Descendants because I love them dearly. I will give them a pleasant experience. I will take them to various locations on this island. Believe you me, they are breathtaking for anybody who has never had the honor and privilege of being here. I don't know why they chose British Columbia. I guess because the landscape is bigger, it's more significantly populated, and they had more of an opportunity to do things with special effects there and stuff. The water is really warm over there. But I've always loved the Descendants cast. I've always loved them. And I don't think that they deserve to have their political point of view put into conversation. I saw Colleague Control's TikTok video from last February where she had to explain to her fans that she wasn't a Trump supporter, and then she was getting a lot of backlash for referring to her fans as cuties. I have this to say, if Colleague Control is going to call me up and call me a cutie, I'm not going to refuse her. I'm not going to refuse being referred to as a cutie. Why do people take offense to that kind of stuff? And then to drag Colleague Control's political point of view into the conversation about Donald Trump is completely unnecessary. It broke her heart, and I don't think she deserves to have to give anybody an explanation for what she believes in. If she's not a Trump supporter, leave her alone. I have this to say, leave Colleague Control alone. Leave her name out of the conversation. And if you're going to say anything good about anything about Colleague Control at all, say something nice about her. I say this because I used to watch her YouTube show in 2009, 2010. She used to be reviewing shows like Sam and Cat, and I was a really big fan of Sam and Cat. Let me just say this. I think Ariana Grande is the most talented singer and the most beautiful actress that I've ever had the opportunity to witness. I went to see Wicked. A lot of my friends thought that was really strange, really messed up situation. They were like, holy shit, why are you going to see Wicked? Why are you going to see Wicked for good? I'm going to see it because I love it. I've always loved musicals. I always believed that when the emotions were too high to tell a story through the power of a script, you could use music to tell the story and to express your emotions. And I always had a hand in the music industry, so I produced a lot of great bands, and I did a lot of stuff on the indie scene too over the years. I had a lot to do with Battle of the Bands and indie rockin', which a lot of people can't seem to get enough of, like Dove Cameron. I don't know what she sees in that guy Damiano David. Really reminds me of Super Mario. And I can't even begin to tell you how many times I've had nightmares about the Super Mario Brothers and them draining my bank account from expensive plumbing. But yeah, I always had a hand on the indie rockin' scene, the independent music scene, the big names too, and I just loved musicals. So when Descendants was announced as a musical adventure, action adventure, I was on board for it. I go all the way back to 2015 when Descendants first premiered, and I remember the first trailer that was dropped on Disney Channel comparing the Disney villain kids to the Disney villains like Maleficent and Ursula and Jafar. Really beautiful trailer, really beautiful movie. The original cast were incredibly beautiful, but they believe they told the story and completed it. Let me just say this. You cannot tell a story in not even 2 hours and complete it. You can't tell us. The Rise of Red movie was 90 minutes. You can't tell a story and have completed it. So to doubt that there was going to be a sequel, a follow-up to this one, would have pretty much been jumping to a conclusion. There are going to be 4, 5, 6 of these movies, even if we have a new cast by the time we get to Descendants 7, 8. And with how many characters that have yet to see their introduction into this franchise, we still got a long way to go. So if I can quote Uma, this story is far from over. Although I didn't really prefer Uma's voice in the opening monologue of Descendants: The Rise of Red, or at the end of it saying that everybody got what they wanted, but one shouldn't mess with the fabric of time and not expect to get away with consequences. I think my voice is a more powerful voice, a very soft voice that could have been used in that monologue. What do you guys think? I really appreciate how all of you have made me seemingly the voice of Descendants and Zombies. That was unexpected. I say this because I remember when this YouTube channel had 6 subscribers, and now I'm sitting here tonight in this seat, in this game chair with 3,000 subscribers almost put up on this YouTube channel. Thank you so much, honest to God. I just recently lost a friend who had an obsession with Bangladesh music. So she would go on, I think it was Facebook, and watch this guy playing Bangladesh music all the time. And it broke my heart because she was so infatuated with him. She was always hearting his photos. She was always commenting on his stuff. And I was sitting here, and he has only got like 1,000 followers. And I'm sitting here with 3,000 subscribers. I've done over 4,000 YouTube videos or something, including my retro content. And I've been a radio podcaster I've been podcasting for like 25 years. And it really broke my heart that she didn't have any interest in anything I was saying on my show. I don't think she's ever watched a video I've dropped on YouTube. And, it just really broke my heart. But when I thought that I had nobody, I obviously had each and every one of you, because some of the first subscribers that I ever had are still here. And what it comes down to is how much you believe in me and trust in me, and I like to believe that we have a mutual understanding and a relationship built off of trust. You guys trust me to create great videos for you. More times than enough, people ask me all the time for advice on how to create great videos, want to know how I create great videos. I don't really prepare anything. When something significant happens on this YouTube channel, I talk about it on my show. When I notice great videos, I talk about it on my shows. Like just recently, I saw the music video for Meg Donnelly's Strangers off the EP Dying Art. That song has been stuck in my head for hours now. I'll probably fall asleep tonight listening to it on my Bluetooth speaker. I can't play it for you because of copyright terms, but beautiful, beautiful song. And let me just say this, Meg, you're somebody who never gets enough credit for what you do. You're incredibly beautiful, incredibly talented, and I don't know for the life of me why Fox voted you off The Masked Singer. Let me just say this, they voted you off Fox because it's Fox, and we shouldn't expect nothing less from Fox. Fox are idiots to vote Meg Donnelly off of The Masked Singer. She is incredible, and I will forever be in the corner of Meg Donnelly. I will forever be in the corner of anyone who ever said they supported Kylie Cantrell and wanted to get into the same gig as she did. It is very challenging to create a show and hope that somebody is going to hear your voice, because at the end of the day, as a radio show host or a blogger on YouTube, that's the only hope that a creator has, is that someone is going to hear their voice and somebody is going to find their YouTube video against 500 videos, up against 500 videos that are talking about the same thing. And the reality of it is I'm up against 15 million critics. I'm probably the best guy that has ever created the Descendants video on YouTube and dropped it for you on the platform, because I reveal who I am. I tell you stories that tie in significantly to Descendants and the franchise, and I love doing it. Let me just say this, I'm going to miss... Oh, holy shit, I hear guys outside my window, so this street isn't a ghost town after all. Maybe they're trying to listen to Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. I always thought this street was haunted. But I don't know for the life of me how they can tell a story without Ruby Rose Turner and complete that story. What did it for me with The Rise of Red was looking forward to Ruby's portrayal of the young Queen of Hearts, to explain, why the villain became the villain, and why she was so evil and so annoying. The classic adaptation of the Queen of Hearts, I do concur with everybody who thought she was the most annoying Disney villain ever created and ever brought forth. I remember reading down through my comments about a year ago and reading about how so many people couldn't stand the Queen of Hearts. She was that villain that got on your nerves, and that was what she was created to do. She was a villain created to get on our nerves, and she succeeded in doing that. But I concur with everybody who believed that she's just a villain that everybody hates. I also want to explain why they don't have fangs in Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampire. Oh my god, that frog is coming up out of my throat. I want to explain why they don't have fangs in Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires. They don't have fangs in Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires because of the age demographic this appeals to. And I don't know about you guys, but in the 1990s, I was scared to death to watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I was scared to death to watch Dracula. I was scared to death more times than enough that I want to forget watching Are You Afraid of the Dark? Afraid the Crimson Clown was going to come up from underneath my bed and kill me. Vampires were going to come in through my window and do the whole suck your blood thing. because when I was like 10 years old, it was really hard to find or build stakes or coffins. So I was really terrified of it. So I guess they're, taking into consideration the age demographic that they have. By the way, if anyone knows a cure for a frog in your throat, please leave it in the comments. Oh my God. I think I record one too many podcasts, but I do it to try to beat out the algorithm. Because I know I'm up against like 50 million critics, everybody who criticized the Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires Place to Be music video and Don't Mess With Us. I don't know what they were thinking to do that. Let me just say this. Everybody who criticized the music for Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires must have forgot about how they are trying to present a Hannah Montana camp rock kind of vibe, which is something I really appreciate. The music for Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires is some of the best music that I've ever heard. And I will forever stand to that, because the original music from Zombies, there were really only 2 songs that really got it over. This Is Gonna Be My Year and Someday, which were 2 of the catchiest songs ever on the soundtrack. And this is the first soundtrack for a Zombies installment that actually makes sense and makes perfect sense. Just as Meg Donnelly's EP, Dying Art, which you can buy at megdonnelly.com, plug for you, Meg, makes a whole lot of sense, and probably some of the best music I've heard from Meg Donnelly in a long time. When I jump off this podcast, I'm probably going to talk about, or probably going to listen to Meg Donnelly's EP, because it's so beautiful, and it's a huge inspiration to. It's a huge inspiration to so many people for various reasons, and all you have to do is go to megdonnelly.com or Spotify to find out what those reasons are. I will forever be a Meg Donnelly fan. I don't know why. Meg Donnelly is always bringing herself down all the time on her Instagram feeds or TikTok feeds, because she doesn't have to do that. I know she was really heartbroken with the fact she was turned down for the role of Supergirl, and Millie Alcott took that from her. I was going to go see Superman, but now that I know Meg Donnelly has been cut from being Supergirl, I don't know if I'm going to do that. I'm probably going to shut the door on going to see that one and probably choose to go see Wicked in November. I just got to find someone crazy enough to go with me, because I have a lot of crazy friends who probably won't go with me, and it'll probably be one of those situations where I'll be the only one in the theater. I know there are millions of fans of Wicked, but it's very uncharacteristic to hear a guy saying that. I was also a guy that used to love to journal. I said that on one of my previous podcasts on this YouTube channel, but if you guys only knew how much I used to love to journal. I spent hours and hours and hours writing my thoughts. I did it because there were a lot of nights that I was alone. I spent a lot of time alone when I was a child, and I felt the best way to counteract that was to always be writing my thoughts. And sometimes in relationships, I'd either email my thoughts to a girl that I had a huge crush on, or I just write my thoughts down to remind myself of what I was going through to try to make sense of it. And I still do it. And that's why I can kind of sympathize with Dove Cameron, who used to love to do the same thing, because more times often than enough, I would do that. And I catch myself doing it, and I still do it. And I recommend it highly to anybody who may be going through some of the most challenging or difficult things in their life that they probably can't make sense of, because I know there is somebody out there hearing my voice tonight on your walk through the woods as you're trying to find Descendants videos, who are probably going through the same thing, even though they choose not to admit to it. I want you to know the support is here for you on this YouTube channel, and everybody on this YouTube channel is your friend. They don't judge you. Descendants fans, as far as I'm concerned, are the best friends that anybody as a podcast or anybody in general could ever have. These two franchises, both Descendants and Zombies, have been criticized so much, but the people who are criticizing it have nothing else better to do. And I don't want you to have to listen to that. I want you to trust in me, because I will never let you down. Let me say that one more time for you in case you didn't hear me. Trust in me, and I will never let you down. And never ever forget that forever does exist, and it is very real. The chances of a zombie apocalypse happening are very real, and the chances of happily ever after and fairy tales existing are more real than ever before or ever you've given a chance on it. And if you have one wish on a star tonight, make sure you make it count. It's a beautiful night where I'm to, and believe you me, wishes do come true that are made on stars. No matter how many times that people tell you they're not, they really are. Because I've lost a lot in my life. I lost a lot of friends who I thought were my friend. I lost a lot of girls who I thought I could hold on to and keep forever. I've never been able to keep anybody forever, but I've been able to keep the support of each and every one of you near and dear to my heart. And you have always been my light out of darkness, and you have always been able to outshine whatever amount of darkness I've encountered in my life. And for that, I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you from my heart to yours, because without you guys supporting me the way that you have, this YouTube channel can't exist. I'd be just some idiot uploading videos in his bedroom, only hoping and wishing that you would hit the subscribe button, find his thumbnail, and push these videos further out into the algorithm, which you're doing. I mentioned here earlier 2 videos today simultaneously that were uploaded within a period of 48 hours, got over 400 views. I would love to have 3,000 subscribers. That would be amazing if you guys could blow the bejesus out of this YouTube channel, because like I said, I had a girl very infatuated with Bangladesh music, paying no interest to me whatsoever, and be kind of really cool. I have more subscribers than he's got at least, so I got something going for me. I don't think we're at the end of the road with Descendants of Zombies, no matter how many times people are telling us that we are, or that we're running out of supernatural characters to tell a story about zombies and werewolves and vampires and aliens. That's only foolishness. Don't ever believe that we're at the end of the road with Descendants of Zombies. We have got a long way to go. And why the hell isn't Ruby Rose Turner playing Rapunzel's daughter in Descendants 5? If you wanted her to have something significant to do, have her do that. I mean, she said in an interview she wanted to play Rapunzel more than anything else in the world. And you'll see me play that video time and time again where she says that, because I think she's the most talented actress in the world. Do I think that she should have a crush on Justin Bieber for as long as she's had one? No. I would much prefer her have a crush on, I don't know, me. Because I've been so supportive of Ruby Rose Turner for what feels like forever, and I'm going to miss her dearly. There was just something about how exuberant she was, how so full of life she was, and she was that one person that you could always count on to put a bit of kindness back into your life when somebody else snatched it from you. And I know there are people out there that have had kindness snatched away from them time and time again. So forgive me for wanting to create a YouTube channel where I could withstand kindness in your life, make you believe that it's actually possible to have forever in your life, because it really is. I know there are these idiots that you probably go to school with that are always trying to bring you down, trying to make you have less self-confidence in yourself, trying to make you not believe in yourself probably more than what you did going to school in the morning. But apart from that, there are also these people who can never have enough love in their life, who are always waiting for the words "I love you" to be said to them. Probably somebody sitting in front of you in class every day, on your school bus ride to school every day. So the thing is, you don't know how much of a difference you could make in somebody's life if you just simply tap them on the shoulder and said the words "I love you." It takes a 0.5 of a second, literally, to say it, and 1.5 seconds to actually make a difference in somebody's life and to significantly impact it. So that's the best piece of advice that I can give you, and also be yourself while you're doing it. I was a theater kid for years, and people would always ask me for the best piece of advice, and I know I say this time and time again, I must sound like a broken record, but you go out there, you be yourself, and if the audience loves you, they're going to let you know about it, and if the audience doesn't love you, they're also going to let you know about it. There were nights, many nights, that I used to throw my guts up before I go out on stage, no matter what I was doing, writing scripts, being a part of the production. I would always be very nervous, and I admit to that, because I didn't want to fool up. I didn't want to fool up if I was a technical engineer, if I was a part of the actual production, but I was able to do it because I loved what I did. There's a passion that goes with being a YouTube creator. There's a passion that goes literally with everything that you do. And I see that in you guys, because I see your videos. Some of you are dancers. Some of you are so creative with your Descendants content. You do better videos than what I do. But as far as you're concerned, I probably do the best videos you've ever seen in your life. I do it because I possess a passion for this. And it's been with me all of my life. And people who can sit in front of a camera every day without something pre-written to say on it, or a simple thought, are really gifted. And if you are one of those people who do it and can make somebody else feel enthralled because of what you do, then you've set out to accomplish a goal, and you achieve it every single time that you do it. Because there are people who drastically fail at this time and time again. But if you're somebody who can do that, put yourself over for being it and do it, and achieve that goal, then more power to you. I've never ever wanted to quit on anybody, and I'm not going to quit on anybody. And I've never wanted to take away the possibility of forever existing or anything being possible in this lifetime away from anybody. I've always wanted to be here for you. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm always going to be here for you. I don't want you to ever forget that, and I always want you to hold on to that, because that is the reality of it. Because I could be anywhere else in the world tonight, but there's no place I'd rather be than right here with each and every one of you. And before I sign off tonight, I want you to always know that the words "I love you" are never said enough. And from my heart to yours, I honestly don't know where I would be without each and every one of you. Some of the best friends I've ever had have existed in the Zombies Descendants fan base. And I just want to say thank you from my heart to yours for putting the pieces of my broken heart back together, and for always taking time out of your busy schedules to hit the subscribe button, for always showing up to the dance and really taking it home. So what do you say we take a look at this very funny Halloween video, believe it or not, where Red and Chloe actually dressed up as other Descendants characters they felt inspired by. Many of you have probably already seen it, but there's always that occasional Descendants fan who probably hasn't. So if you could take a minute to hit the subscribe button, I would really appreciate it as we watch this video together. See that? Magic.
Me and Malia. Hey. It's Halloween and we decided to go trick-or-treating last minute. But we realized we didn't have any costumes until we hit up Party City. Naturally. We hit up Party City and we were like, wait, I know just what we should go as. Hey. This Mal Chloe remix we have going on.
Remix.
These teenage girls, Shar asked them,
Don't they look like the girls from the movie?
the girl was like, no, that does not look like that.
You want to ask you if you're the real Princess Red?
Yes. They're like, no. Guys, no one thinks it's us.
Wait, are you actually? I am. Oh my god! Oh my god!
It's you! I'm sorry.
What's your name? Make photo?
The sun is almost set on all of our lives. Every single night that I would hang up my headset years ago when the sun would be setting, I would think about what kind of direction my life was headed in. I couldn't make sense of it all, and there were a lot of nights that I had a lot of long drives home. But thank you guys so much for bringing me back from seemingly out of obscurity. When I thought I was done, I hung up my headset. A lot of people thought I wasn't done, but I wanted to go home and put my life back together, and you guys wanted a hero, and you found that hero in me, and you made me the voice of Descendants and Zombies, and I can't thank you enough for it. I take great pride in these videos, and I take great pride in each and every one of you, and I hope you share that same passion with me, because we share the same passion. It is the passion that has brought us all together. No matter if it's looking at silly videos of Descendants and Zombies, talking about how much we love the franchises as a whole, because we obviously do. It's what's brought us all together, and as far as I'm concerned, I've got the greatest YouTube channel in the world. I may only have close to 3,000 subscribers put up on this YouTube channel, but I want you to know that I love you all dearly. From the bottom of my heart, I don't know where I would be without each and every one of you, and I mean that. And that's something you're never ever going to hear from any other podcaster on YouTube that talks about this same gig. There are only a few people who are crazy enough to do this gig, and I'm one of them. And I've loved doing it. This is the most fun that I've had in my entire life, and I love being here for you. I love hearing your stories. I love reading your comments. I love every single time somebody hits the subscribe button up the subscriber count, hits the like button, because it pushes the YouTube algorithm further out there so somebody can find these videos. And I'm pretty much the only one crazy enough to do this gig and get away with it for as long as he has. I don't know if you guys love this, but I hope you do. I'm the creator of it. I can only hope that you do. And I hope you spread my message of kindness as I've tried to desperately spread it to people who I know need it out there. Because there is never enough kindness spread in this world. The words I love you are never said enough. And I think that's a pretty wise statement to have made. So having said that, as the sun sets on all of our lives on this gorgeous evening, what do you say we take this opportunity, take it upon ourselves to go spread some kindness to somebody who needs it right about now? With that being said, bye YouTube. We will do it again tomorrow night.